RJ Payne just dropped, so far, one of the hottest, if not the hottest album of 2021. I'm talking about Leatherface 3, There Will Be Blood. This joint right here, I'm gonna break it down, I'm gonna talk about it, I'm gonna review it. Let's just get into it. On this album review, this is one of them joints right here where it's coming from a complete place of, I love this artist, I think this guy is dope. Let's just start it off. The track number 1 is Blood Everywhere, produced by Cartoon Beats featuring Redman. The track is real spooky. Redman is on the intro of the song and the outro, you know, when the song is coming to an end. He's also kind of like lightweight on the hook as well. I was actually kind of, believe it or not, low-key wanted a verse from Redman on this track. Like, I haven't been the biggest, full disclosure, I haven't been the biggest Redman fan over the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the material he's been coming out with a lot of the material that Red has been coming out with, you know, since around 2000, 2001 up until now has been kind of lightweight. And it's been kind of light compared to, you know, his earlier music that he released in the mid 90s, late 90s. So, you know, I haven't really been feeling Red, but Red, it was nice to hear him on this nice track. I thought the beat was real spooky track. RJ just came raw with it. You know what I'm saying? His nonstop flow on this one. One of the lines in the song that I like was when he said, "I'm just dropping a tutorial. Rappers get out of pocket, turn your block to a memorial. They to fight. If we box, I'll destroy you. This is fresh off the presses. I dropped the hot editorial." So, you know, very nice verse from RJ. Track number 2 is Back on My Shh. You already know what that is. Hit Back on My Shit, produced by my guy Terminology, who's a very dope lyricist, supreme lyricist as well. Terminology is in his production bag on this one, along with, I think his name is pronounced Melks or something like that. Terminology and Mex. Melks produced this joint right here. And RJ Payne is rapping in double time, which I like. I love his flow on this one, more hard bars from him. And then we got track number 3 right here. Now, this is one of my favorite joints on the album, and it's featuring my guy Ransom. Ran is doing his thing. As always, this beat right here is a piano, kind of feel to it on the instrumental. The piano beat is dope. The keys are real slow. It's perfectly fit for Ransom's flow and RJ Payne's flow on this one. You know, Ransom, let's just keep it 1,000 here. Rand just blacked out on this one. Let's play the truth, show him the ropes, because I'm about to raise the noose. I'll break the truce, put holes in your throat the size of basic fruit. Just lace your boots. You ain't prepared for war if you scared to draw. I'll paint the roof, the 16 chapel grapple, and shake the booth. That's straight from Ransom. That joint was flames, y'all. And that track, There Will Be Blood, was produced by Vanderslice. Track 4, Kane vs. Undertaker, produced by Lunchbox Bully, featuring Flea Lord. Now, Flea Lord actually had a pretty nice verse on this one. I'm a Flea Lord guy. I like a lot of, some of his stuff. You know, a lot of times his verses can be hit or miss, but he definitely had a quality, thorough verse on this one. I like Flea Lord's verse on this one right here. Track 5, which is Anarchy, produced by my guy Stu Bangers. I love Stu Bangers' production. He always has some nice joints in his bag. And this one right here was pretty nice as well. And it features Shaheem. Remember Shaheem from back in the day? He's still around. He's still doing his thing on the mic. You know, he was a Wu-Tang affiliate years ago. Shaheem and also Jojo Pellegrino. Now, on this one, Shaheem's verse was, it wasn't all that good. You know what I mean? I've never, full disclosure, been a Shaheem fan going back to his on and on days. You know what I mean? Back in like 1993, you know what I'm saying? 94, when he was, out, affiliate with the Wu-Tang in the mid 90s, you know what I'm saying? After he came out with his first album. Never was a Shaheem fan. This verse really didn't, his verse didn't do nothing for me. But my guy, Jojo Pellegrino, killed it. He stole the track, actually. Jojo Pellegrino is a guy who's been doing his thing. I like a lot of some of his other material. So check for him. He's very, very dope. And like I said, he blacked out on this one and he really stole the track. RJ Payne had a nice verse, but it was Jojo that really stood out. Infamous Payne, number 6, produced by Havoc. Havoc is in his bag, y'all. Havoc, took some time off from, the production scene for a minute, because when Prodigy died a couple years ago. So, what I'm saying, Havoc pretty much went dark. We didn't hear that much from him, as far as him getting in his bag, doing production and even getting on the mic rhyming. But lately he's been coming out of that, he's been, coming out of his seclusion over the last about a year, close to about year and a half. And, Havoc, this beat is crazy. This also is one of my favorite tracks on the album. Havoc has never lost it as far as his production, and he's still nice on the mic too, even though he doesn't rhyme on this song. But yeah, RJ Payne, he blacked out on this album. RJ Payne is pretty much blacking out and just killing every track on this album. But this song, track 6, Infamous Payne, is one of my favorite joints. P.A. Dre produced Predators, which is track number 7, and UFO Fev, I think it's called Fev, or either Ferv or Fev. UFO Fev is on this joint right here. Payne had a nice verse, of course, and also UFO had a nice verse as well. UFO has a lot of joints out as well. I like some of his stuff. I'm not too familiar with his catalog, but he does have some joints out that I'm feeling, like that a little bit lightweight. But UFO really had a nice verse on this one. So check for his catalog as well. I got to start checking more for his catalog. Let me take my own advice because his verse on this song was pretty nice. 8, this is track number 8, and it's produced by Nicholas Craven, and this one has that classic Nicholas Craven sound. Track 8, Wes Craven's Leatherface. It's a flame. The song is Flames. I like it a lot. Track 9, Black Mass, produced by Lunchbox Bully, who also did another joint, earlier joint on this album, and Flea Lord is on it. Track 10, Dead Serious, produced by DJ Payne 1 and Dream Life. And I actually like the scratching on this song right here. It samples Styles P vocal samples for one of his rhymes. So the scratching was nice. Track 11, No Mercy. That's right. No Mercy, No Mercy. Track 11, No Mercy, produced by Cartoon Beats. He got another joint on this one featuring Inspector Deck. It's hot. And Inspector Deck came nice on this one. Deck has been doing his thing. He has his other, side projects, Czarface, that he's been doing outside of the Wu-Tang stuff that he's been killing. Inspector Deck, has been on a tear and been on a run for the last couple years. But Deck had a nice verse on this one. And track 12, we got Three-Headed Dragon, produced by P.A. Dre, who is a producer that constantly works with RJ Payne, P.A. Dre. And this one features Raskaz and Apathy, and it's a good way to close out the album. Raskaz has a quality verse. So overall, let's break this album down and say I'm gonna give it, here we go with the Source Magazine, the old Source Magazine rating 1 through 5, 1 being totally whack, get that album out of here, out of cheer, 1 being terrible, 5 being a hip hop classic. I'm gonna give this album a 4.5 right here. I think this album has everything you need from somebody like RJ Payne. You're not gonna get a whole lot of playing around on this album. This album is straight to the point, straight to it. I mean, if you're looking for bars, if you're looking for beats, and that's crazy, if you're looking for them hard hitting beats and tracks and instrumentals that's in your face, that's gonna have you just nodding your head constantly, this is the album for you. There's not a whole lot of, joints on here that's real mellow, because a lot of times the last couple of albums, one of the previous albums that RJ Payne has came out had like some mellow tracks on it. And the tracks were, use some samples and stuff, like some soul samples. But this one, RJ Payne went straight for the jugular on this one. That's why it's called Leatherface with the chainsaw. He went straight for the throat on this one. And he's hurting a lot of MCs on this one. The production is quality. One thing that I like about this album, and one thing I also like that Lloyd Banks did on his most recent album, is that other album that just came out a couple weeks ago, is that RJ Payne is using a lot of up and coming producers on this album. And I love to hear the up and coming producers. He's not, recycling the same producers that we all know and that everybody gets. It's good to hear new production, even though I still love, my classic bag of Primo, and you can never go wrong with, you can never get enough of Primo. Shout out to Primo. It's my favorite hip hop producer of all time. It's good to hear, some of the new and upcoming dudes, see what they sounding like, seeing what they was working with. So yeah, I'm giving this album a 4.5. I think it's dope. Lyrics is just And this is another album that's added onto my list along with Sky Zoo album and Lloyd Banks album. That's quality, very thorough album. So yeah, this joint right here, 4.5. Make sure you check it out. RJ Payne, Leatherface 3, There Will Be Blood.